Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt on Thursday. Max outs today are going to be back squat and bench press. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's begin with our warm-up, 3 rounds through, 20 jumping jacks. Then I want you to get 8 reps on each side of both a knee hug and a quad pull. Just loosening up the legs. When you finish with that, the bench T-spine opener. So what we're working on is upper back. And why do we need that? For the back squat is to get our shoulders, our traps, our elbows, wrists, everything in the right position to hold that weight behind our neck. So opening up the thoracic spine is one of the keys to having a good upper back position. So get a bench, get a box, and I want you to reach one arm through, kind of like I thread the needle, and then twist overhead, arm through, and twist overhead, right? And I don't know if you heard that on the microphone, but I got some beautiful little lower back pops out of that when I did that. Free chiropractic adjustment, no extra charge. All right, so bench T-spine, and then the last one is 5 reps of our warm-up squat. You can do the first round with a PVC pipe, set up your bench. Subsequent rounds, start loading up with a little bit of weight, but get extra deep and low on the first few reps, get a good stretch. One of my principles here of lifting is to exceed the range of motion in the warm-up so that you can control the range of motion in the workout, right? So I don't want you to be limited by the tension in your joints or just the lack of warm-up. I want you to exceed all that stuff in the warm-up so that when it comes time to actually lift, you can, with your brain, control your bottom position instead of letting your joints control your bottom position, okay? After that, we're gonna start working up in typical format with our maxes. We have 3 lifts listed in your sugar wad, but there should be a lot of lead up to this, and the lead ups should be many sets and small sets. So nothing greater than 3 reps, please, today, other than those 5 reps in the warm-ups. Okay, after that, we cut the reps way down, even when the weight is in the like 60, 70, 80% range. You do not need to hit like 85% for 5 reps like we would normally do in a training session. The purpose of the 85% for 5 reps in that phase, when that's like a week 1 of our strength block percentage and rep combination, it is to build strength in that because you're getting close to failure. We don't want to be close to failure until we get up to the high percentages, like in the mid 90s to high 90s. That's the first time I want you to feel like, oh, I might not make this. I have to push really hard in order to complete this rep. Okay. As always, I said this earlier in the week, but back squat is one where we will use spotters. You can either use 2 people on the ends or you can use 1 person underneath. If you have any question about spotting technique, make sure to talk to a coach and make sure you as the lifter clearly articulate what you are going to do with the bar to the people standing around you. If it's like, hey guys, I'm gonna lift, this is a PR attempt. I might ditch it if I get stuck at the bottom, so just everyone back away. But just don't be ambiguous about it. And if somebody has not asked you to spot them, don't dive in and try to spot them unless they are, immediately asking you for help, right? Because a lot of times an accident can happen when someone doesn't think there's anyone behind them and ditches the bar. Once it's moving, you're not gonna stop it from moving. The best thing you can do is go the opposite direction from the barbell, okay? All right, so that's a little safety stuff. We will use the same format safety with the bench press. So when you're done squatting, again, I would say leave a little bit longer block for squatting than for the bench pressing, maybe 25 minutes for the squatting and 20 minutes for the bench pressing. Oh, and by the way, have we done bench pressing in the last 18 weeks? Not much, we've done some, but just a little bit. We have shifted towards an overhead pressing for this last cycle. So think of this one as either a return to benching or a baseline for your benching, but I think some of you, and hopefully we will be surprised at how close you are or even better than you were before at bench pressing from just doing vertical stuff. So it's a cool little skill transfer or carryover exercise for you. Try on the bench press and think of this as a baseline for our next 18-week cycle, which we are going to focus more on bench press during it. Okay, that is it for today, and I will see you guys for our last maxes tomorrow.